Welcome to another episode of 15 Minutes With, and our guest is Andy Crowner. Andy heads up the West Burlington Fireworks and also a sibling of one of my coworkers, Amy Burkhart.
Yes.
How are you, Andy?
Excellent. Thanks for having me today.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. First sibling we've had on the show. We haven't had that many episodes, but there's always a first. So,
and I guess I'll claim her.
Yeah. West Burlington. I'm trying to think back to the interview I did with Amy, but born and raised West Burlington?
Yeah, born and raised in West Burlington. I went away to Iowa State for a little bit, but otherwise been in town, and I sell real estate in West Burlington for RE/MAX.
Yeah.
I'm a West Burlington city councilman. Used to be on the West Burlington school board, so I've kind of sat in many seats with many hats.
Yeah, and Andy, I've got to ask because your sister wears a lot of hats too,
Yeah.
and I got an answer from her, but I didn't know where did that you really need to be involved. Where did that come from? Was that mom and dad, or that they just were?
No, I think you could go back generations. My grandfather on my mom's side was on the school board when the original high school was built in West Burlington, and so all my grandparents were really either business owners or involved in things. And then my mom, of course, was a RE/MAX owner there for 25 years.
And you took that over, is that correct?
Yep, I don't own RE/MAX, but I worked there and just left showing houses to come here. So it's a constant job.
I figured that's probably what you were doing.
Yeah. It's a 24/7, 8 days a week kind of job.
Real quick for house hunters right now, how's the marketing?
Yeah, everything's selling fast, but just call me if you want to do something, and maybe we'll find it. But but then my dad was on city council for over 20 years, and owned a business in West Burlington.
Tell everybody your dad's name.
Rod Crowner, and my dad started the West Burlington celebration there. This will be our 21st year. So
why and how, Andy?
We had when I was a kid, there was a West Burlington Days, and it took place out in Westland Mall. On the outside, and they'd have a big tent and some bands. And I actually found a flyer about this not very long ago, and it had kind of the names of who runs each part. And it's funny because I still use a lot of those people from 35 years ago
to put on the event.
Yeah, they're still in charge of like the cruise display and the car show and that kind of stuff. And so it's the same people. It's kind of funny. So that ended, and Dad loved that event and thought that was something we needed to continue to do in West Burlington. And 4th of July for my dad and kind of for my family, we're kind of political. And so that's a big celebration day. And
were you, as a family, before he said, let's do this fireworks thing, were you guys always together on the 4th?
Yeah, we're really still a get together every Sunday night kind of family.
That's pretty great.
So we still do it to today, and every Sunday night we're all together. So whenever you have a holiday, we're all together having fun, playing games, cooking food. And so it all kind of started from that, and Dad started it, and it grew every year.
Do you remember the first one, Andy? I
do.
guess 21 years ago, right?
Yeah, yep, 21 years ago. I do. I can remember parts of it, especially the entertainment part. I was always more interested in the music side, and I believe David Kroll's first band when he was just a little kid.
Yeah.
Played the first, I think, 3 or 4 years actually. So changed names every year from Walker Brothers to David Kroll and all those. But,
okay.
So yeah, it was always fun and has always grown. So it's started with fireworks and a band and maybe some food, and now it's
look
6
at it.
a.m. till midnight. So
the West Burlington fireworks celebration. And Andy, do you guys ever say, "Oh, we got to do it on the 3rd, or we got to do it on the 29th"?
No, always the 4th.
Right? I mean, you got. I'm not to besmudge anybody who does it before them, because there's logistics and there's planning.
No, we've West Burlington's always kind of been that way. We do the 4th on the 4th. We do trick or treating on Halloween, and it's just that's the way it is every year. It doesn't matter.
There's no Christmas in July.
No, it's always on the day.
That's right.
That way, we've kind of carved our niche in that, and everybody knows, that'll be the 4th every year.
Yeah. So there'll be music. There's going to be great food, even if you've never been before. But this is a close-knit event that takes place, and it kicks off, which I bet is huge, the fire department pancake breakfast. Why, Andy, why are pancake breakfasts so huge?
Yeah, well,
especially on an Independence Day.
Number one, they're really good. They're really good pancakes, and the firemen themselves go up there and make them, that and sausage and everything that morning.
The community loves that part.
Yeah, the line, by the time you hit like 9 a.m., the line will be around the next block. So it is it's a big deal. And I tell you, one of my favorite stories from last year is I love seeing the Burlington firefighters come over and support the West Burlington firefighters. And
Yes.
that was something that hit me last year, seeing all of them in line for pancakes last year. And so I love when the communities help each other out like that. It's really nice.
What is the undertaking of putting this event on, Andy? After it ends, do you start planning for next year?
Yeah, always. We
Yeah.
have kind of a wind down event, like hey, let's debrief and see what worked and what didn't, and what things we need to change for next year, and go over the financial side of it, of course. But then about the mid-December is when I start in for the really working on next year and booking the bands and getting some of that stuff ready.
Andy's favorite part of West Burlington fireworks?
Short
Short of the blast off.
Yeah, there's probably two. I mean, since I've been doing this for 21 years, and it's really so many family memories for me.
Yeah.
And actually watching the fireworks when you can see down Broadway lined with the flags in the street with your downtown all lit up by the booms, that's really special. And I always every year can look right and left and see family.
Yeah.
Sometimes all the way up from Texas. And so that's really special. And then there's always this time of the night after the fireworks are over, because we always work this event. That's finally when I can wind down, and when my dad could always wind down. And we always have a spot we kind of gather and, maybe have crack one for the first time of the day.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And that's really then okay, I can have fun.
Yeah,
So,
take a breath.
yeah. And our late bands are always amazing. I don't know if you've seen Student Body or not, but they put on an amazing
I haven't.
show.
The guy you got kicking off the morning, old friend of mine.
Yeah. Sean Kistler used to be in Dry up there
Absolutely.
in Galesburg.
Yep.
And, so I booked entertainment at the casino for a long time.
Okay.
And would book those guys a lot and bring them in. And so I've kept in contact with Sean through the years. And he's a great one-man show. And
He is a one-man show. He was really a part of the radio scene in Galesburg. We really embraced their band. And I remember we'd play songs, brand new rock songs. This is how great Sean is. And I'd see him 2 nights later at a bar.
Yeah.
And he's already learned this new
Yeah.
song. I'm like, we just started playing that, Sean. He's like, yeah, just...
And I wish Sean lived over here, because I'd be begging him to let me. I'm a drummer, and so
Yeah,
I'd love to
yeah.
play with him.
He's so great.
But he does great, and then plays kind of, you'll know every song, and he'll play from Beatles to Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yep.
So he'll do great. And then that middle band, who's Autumn's Waiting, they're some of the best local Burlington musicians that there are.
Yeah.
And they're I would say they're kind of folk rock, right?
Okay.
They're going to play some of their own. They're going to play covers, but just some of the best actual musicians in the area.
Sean kicks off at 11:30 on the Deary Brothers outdoor stage at the West Burlington Fireworks. Sean Kistler, you don't want to miss. What's Sean doing at that early time? What's happening around 11:30?
That's when we kick off kind of all the kids events. So there'll be the inflatables and the dunk tank. All the food options will open at that point. And let me tell you, you won't see a better line of food trucks at a city event, anything around here. Tony Diaz from Jimmy John's runs all that for me. And
Oh, great, yeah.
he books, I think we're going to have 7 trucks this year that all have something different to offer, plus the Broadway serving food. So that'll be amazing. And then there's a bags tournament that starts about then too, put on by the River City Baggers.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting a few things. We got Lions Club Bingo. That'll be inside.
Do the River City Baggers take it as seriously as I think they
yeah.
do?
Yep.
That's great.
Yep, they do. And they're pretty good, but if you just want to come up and have fun too, that's all right. You don't have to be amazing to come up and play in
You don't have to be a cornhole champion.
No. And matter of fact, they made me keep the prizes low enough that people won't, pros won't come in. So it's kind of specifically made for that
No
middle
ringers,
tier.
please.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So that, and then Lions Club Bingo inside if you're getting hot.
What's the participation on that? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's tough to find a seat, actually. So
That's awesome.
Especially on hot days on 4th of July, because that's air conditioned inside.
I know it's a stereotype that only older people play bingo.
Oh, no.
But bingo's universal.
No, my wife will go on a random Saturday night with some friends and go play bingo.
Yeah.
So she loves it.
That's pretty awesome. Andy Crowner is here with us, heads up the West Burlington Fireworks, also sells real estate, a city council member, and Where'd you go to college? Same place as your sister?
Went to Iowa State for a little bit,
Yeah.
and SEC for a little bit, and back then was the very beginning of Drake Hardware and Software.
Yeah.
Down here, and so I was very interested.
Is there still a sign painted?
Yeah, but I mean the business is still here too, and,
Okay.
and they do an amazing job. Dana and Jeff, and they gave me an opportunity to come here and do what I wanted to do, which was like build websites and be on the tech end of things, and
Graphic design too?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
okay.
That's originally why I got into that, and so I came back and did that right away, and then moved over to Pizzazz and Fun City and Catfish Bend, and was there for the beginning years of that in marketing, and then moved over to Weingard for about a decade and did marketing over there. So,
Well, Andy, I don't live here. Of course, I'm in Galesburg, but we come over on occasion, and Catfish Bend has been there for several decades now. And just the growth. I was just there. I think it may have been for your sister's award from the Girl Scouts, Woman of the Year, right?
Yeah.
And just what great things they do there, and keeping that up and making it more fun for people.
I always said, Mr. Weingard or Andy Weingard, he always kept it interesting. You didn't know the next day if you're going to come in and move the bar from one side or the other, or you're going to add a business or whatever.
Always ideas flowing.
It really made me, I used to kind of fear change, and having that job for so many years with him, it made me like, no, all right, this is the fun part. So now change doesn't really bug me.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about the Broadway Bullfrog race. Is this a tradition?
Yeah, and I think somebody told me this will come out on Monday, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that right? So unfortunately, part of this will be over by then. But this year on Friday night, we're going to go to the Broadway. We're going to sell the bullfrogs that night. And they're going to have a bullfrog leg special, and we're going to have the Green Frog Distillery there and do some fun things. And I'm not big. I like the whiskey part, but not so much in the frog legs. So we're going to sell the frogs that night. You can come in and buy them for $100. And then on the 4th at 7, we draw 2 big circles. So you stand inside the first one and you let your frog go, and then whichever frog goes outside the big circle first is the winner. And we'll do 4 heats and then the championship, and the champion gets $500. And then if you've been in the Broadway, there's a huge trophy in there that we put the names of the winners on. So it's kind of some bragging rights.
Changes hands every year?
Well, the trophy stays in the Broadway.
Okay,
but we have the plaques on them of every year.
Yeah, very cool.
So, kind of nice bragging rights.
It is nice bragging rights. You can be eating breakfast. You'd be like, you see that name right there? That's me.
You see that trophy? I'm on that one. So I have not won.
Various sizes of bullfrogs. Are these big?
They're whatever they can catch.
Yes.
Jesse that owns the Broadway goes and gets the bullfrogs for me, and so they bring those in the night before, and so it's whatever he finds we have.
Inflatables, dunk tanks, everything for the kids. You guys have made this a full day. When your dad decided to do the 4th of July celebration in 21 years ago, Andy, did he know, like, where am I going to get fireworks? Tell us about your company, and that's probably somebody you've had pretty reliable for years.
Fireworks industry, there's only so many companies. There's actually not very many. So J&M Displays does, most everything in our area.
Yeah.
So, and they're the pros, and they put on a great show, and just, we added a couple $1,000s to our show this year. So I'm hoping it'll be a big show. And appreciate all the support of everybody that's given, and all the businesses that have donated that make this work, because otherwise we couldn't do it. Almost everything throughout the day is free. So without their help, we really couldn't do this.
Except for those weird years we had recently, Andy, that we won't talk about. Over the 21 years, did Mother Nature almost...
no, we don't talk about that. No.
We won't. Good.
Yeah.
Good. It went off without a thing.
Somebody said something yesterday about the weather, and I don't look at the weather.
We don't talk about the weather when it comes to fireworks.
Yes. It is what it is, and we'll get through it. And we've had a couple of years, I think, where it rained in the morning, but we've never had a whole day rain out.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be all right this year.
You selling raffles all day?
Yeah, we fund the event through business donations and then these raffle tickets. And let me take a minute on this.
Yeah.
So we pre-sell them, and we sell them for $2. $1 goes to us to fund the fireworks and everything, and then $1 goes back to whichever group sells the ticket. And so everybody from Boy Scouts to there's tons of them, but baseball teams and little league teams, and just Alzheimer's Association, and all kinds of people sell these tickets the couple months beforehand. And then the day of the event, the West Burlington High School Alumni Association, which my sister and I are both on the board of, they fund 2 scholarships for high school seniors through the sales of those tickets, as well as the fireworks in that day. So you'll see that kind of sprinkled throughout everything. You know, the vendor show's the Relay for Life vendor show. It's a fundraiser. Almost all the money from the tables goes to them. The Lions Club Bingo is a fundraiser for the Lions Club. And so we've really tied everything into the community, and it's a huge fundraiser for about 40 groups.
Yeah, it sounds like a great 4th of July family tree, and everybody kind of benefits.
Yeah. You know, we've really made it that way. And anytime somebody comes in and says, hey, why don't we try this? It's okay, but why don't we find a group that'll run it as a fundraiser? And then number 1, I don't have to do it. And then number 2, we've got a group that benefits from it.
Andy, the 21 years of this event taking place, 4th of July celebration and families out. Do you guys ever get attendance? Any way to tell?
Yeah, I'd love to. I wish there was a way, but we don't. You know, we don't really have a gate. It's completely free, and it's spread all the way out through West Burlington. We've got 7 or 8 blocks of West Burlington downtown, and then over at the mall, we do the bike races there in the morning.
People have different viewing areas, Andy, that they like to watch.
Yeah, but one year, this is when Dad was still running it. For some reason, I had to drive down Mount Pleasant Street right before the fireworks were about to go off. And there was people lined up all the way out west near the truck stop, all the way east down past Roosevelt and down near Community Field. So people getting ready to watch the fireworks.
That's so great.
Special to see how many people get to see that.
Where's the main spot where most people congregate?
Yeah, right in front of the stage. So right at Burlington or Broadway and Mount Pleasant there in West Burlington, right in front of City Hall and the Broadway restaurant, and right in there. If you're watching the stage, all you do is turn around and there's the fireworks.
And Andy, you said absolutely free, of course. And where do people park if they haven't been to a West Burlington fireworks?
Yeah, just on the streets. I mean, there's typically you can find a spot within 2 or 3 blocks, and you got to walk 2 or 3 blocks. But we have kind of things both directions, so you might walk through the car show on your way or through the vendor show if you're coming from that direction. So it's spread out, but there is parking available.
A well-oiled machine, would you call it by now?
Most of it, yeah. We've got such great people that volunteer. Therese Lees has done the bike races for probably 21 years or 20 years of that, and Tony Diaz running food, and just we kind of have a key point person in each area, and they do a great job doing it.
A lot of superstars, like you said, have been there for 21 years.
Yeah.
That's got to be great when you do start planning. All the people are in place to help
as
you.
long as they'll say yes every year, I'm all right. But, so I want to talk about the parade a minute.
Yes. Yeah, your parade's huge.
So parade, this comes out Monday, so there's still time to get in. You could even show up that day if you have a business or a group that wants to be in the parade.
That was one of my questions.
It's at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you meet up at Westland Mall. We'll get you in order. If you're coming then, just come at 3:30 or something. Otherwise, you can sign up on our website. It's completely free to enter. We do give some prizes away just randomly to whoever we pull out of the hat.
What usual amount of entries? How many?
40-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And we do ask every elected official that we have, all the way from our state reps and school boards all the way up to the governor. So you never know who's going to show up. But, so we ask all them to come attend, and it's a nice 4th of July parade. And every year we have a grand marshal, and we don't get to talk about this very much, but our grand marshal this year is Mary Storch. She was in the school district for, I believe it was 43 years.
Just retired?
Just retired. And,
that's great.
And not only does that, but is also on the alumni board, manages a lot of the reunions, just really gives the community a lot. She sits on I think she's on Planning and Zoning Commission. So it's nice to be able to honor her and have her be the grand marshal this year.
Andy Crowner and family been running that West Burlington fireworks, and extended family of a lot of folks, and we don't even have another 15 minutes to name them all, but you know who you are, and we thank you for doing such a great job, and here's to great weather and another great celebration, Andy.
I just love that camaraderie of getting together with people and having that common experience.
Yeah, that's what it is on the 4th of July. Don't miss it. A little slice of Americana right there in West Burlington, Illinois, with the big 4th of July celebration.
Iowa, though. We are in Iowa.
Iowa.
You got it.
Yes. In West Burlington. I would edit that out, but I'm an Illinois
No.
boy, so that's going to happen
Leave
on
it.
occasion. With the fire department camp pancake breakfast, Relay for Life vendor show, Bickles bike races, Cruise Day displays, the Lions Club bingo, if you want to go in and cool off and have some fun. Inflatables, plenty for the kids. The bags tournament, the 4th of July parade, of course, the bullfrog race, the raffle drawing, which helps this event take place every
absolutely.
year. And, of course, the fireworks at 10:01. And it's like 20, 25 minutes, Andy?
Yeah, probably 20-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to put a little more in the grand finale than the rest because that's, I don't know, to me, that's the firework part.
Yeah.
You know, I can buy a firework and shoot it off. I can't buy 100 and shoot them off like that. So,
And then just like Andy and his dad will at 10:30 on the 4th of July, crack one open and celebrate independence. Andy Crowner, thanks for being here, man.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Take care.